Hey everybody, this is Amanda with Elise Ray Books. Today I'm going to show you guys how to make a simple pamphlet stitched book. We're going to go through the sewing the spine, and cutting down the cover to make it look like one finished pretty book. You can use these by themselves, or you can use them. I have a travel journal that I've made that I use these for replaceable inserts. The reason why I like the 5x7 size is because it's the same size as a mini composition book. So if for some reason I didn't want to make one on my own, they sell these at Walmart or Staples or wherever, and if you look for the mini composition, that is the same size. That will also fit inside of your travel journal if your travel journal is made to fit 5x7. So what I have is 10 sheets of paper. I've pre-folded them, but this is just 8.5 by 11 copy paper. It's a little bit thicker than a copy paper because I like a nicer paper, but I've just cut it down to 7 by 10 and folded it in half. And then I have a cardstock. This was actually a 12.5. So I've cut it down to 7 by 12.5. And we don't want to cut it down to 7 by 10 just yet because we're going to do that at the end, and I'll show you why. I have an awl. If you don't have an awl, you can purchase one at any craft store, or even Walmart sells them in the sewing aisle. They run about $5 or $6. I have some paper clips. I have a tapestry needle, a needle with a little bit more of a dull point. I have 3 feet of thread. This is friendship thread. I like to use it because it's a little bit thicker and stronger. A ruler, scissors, an X-Acto blade, a pencil, and a broken down cardboard box to punch on. So first things first, cut down and fold your paper in half, which I've already done. So I'm just going to put mine back in half like that. All right, set it aside. And you can just could just fold this in half and press it down. But since it's a thicker paper, what's going to probably happen is you're going to get creases along your fold. So what I like to do is I like to score my fold before I fold it down. And it's very easy to do. You're just going to put a dot in the center of your paper at the top, and a dot in the center of your paper at the bottom. And then take your ruler. You can take your awl, or you can take your tapestry needle, or you can take the back side of your X-Acto blade. So instead of cutting like this, we're going to be scoring like this, which is how I like to do it. Very lightly, just to break through the paper just a little bit. You definitely don't want to press too hard because you risk cutting your paper, and that is not what you want to do. You just want to make a little imprint line. I don't know if y'all can see that, but you'll be able to see it. And then at that point, that gives you a place to fold your paper. Without getting these bunchy stress marks along the sides. All right. So that's that. Okay. So now what you're going to do is you're going to put your paper inside your cover. And at this point, to keep your pages from shifting, go ahead and put some paper clips to keep this in place. So open it up. You don't want to open it up completely flat because it's gonna bunch and give, and then all of your folds aren't going to be aligned just right. But you can lay it about like that, really. Take your ruler. Let's see if you can see this. And in your fold, you're going to mark 4 holes. So I like to go, and you don't have to be exactly as mine, but I like to go 3/4 in and just put your little dot. 3/4 in from the top and the bottom. And then I like to go about 1.5 inches from those holes. So. All right. So once you've made your punching marks, take your awl, and you're going to want to punch all the way through. And this is why your cardboard is so important, that you have your cardboard, and also that it's 2-ply, because you're going to end up poking your table if you don't. Now it's important once you punch these holes that they don't shift, because if they do, it's going to give you a hassle when you try to sew your book together. So, all right. So I've got 4 holes, and you can see I've got 4 holes all the way through. Now we're going to call these holes 1, 2, 3, and 4. Holes 1, 2, 3, and 4. I'm going to thread your needle, and I do 3 feet because I like for it to be 2-ply. Alright, you can tie a knot at the end of it if you want, but you don't have to. Alright, so we're going to start in hole 3, and we're going to start on the inside. And we're going to go in hole 3, and you want to leave yourself about 4 inches of thread hanging on the inside of your book. So then from the outside, going back in, you want to go into hole 4. Pull through, pull it snug. And then you're going to go back inside hole 3. And now you're going to come up to hole 2. And then into hole 1. And then back into hole 2. And now at this point, if you feel like you have loose threads, you can kind of go through and pull them a little bit more snug. You can cut the needle off, and now you're just going to tie it off in the middle. Let's see if I can see that. I'm just doing a double knot. Okay. see that? All right. Okay. And so now your book is technically sewn, but we have these longer covers that we need to trim down. But what you don't want to do is, like I said, cut your cover 7 by 10 in the beginning and then put it on there, because what's going to happen is when you fold it, the cover is going to be too short. Take off your paper clips. So you can see when we fold these pages down that they stagger. And the top one's a little bit shorter than the one in the middle. Well, that's what would happen if we had cut the cover down and made the cover the same size as the pages. So you want to fold it flat. And then I like to take a pencil and just run it lightly along the end of the longest page, which is the pages in the middle. So I use that as my guide. And you can see that I even kind of position the pencil where it's, you know, just on the outside of those pages. And then I'm going to turn flat on the other side and do the same thing. Okay. Now I'm going to take my ruler and my blade and just trim it off right on that line, or you can even go right on the outside of that line. I wouldn't go any more inside of that line that you made, but you're definitely right on it or right outside of it. And if you find that there's still pencil mark left, you can just erase it. That's why you use a pencil, don't use a pen. All right, so see what we've done. Now our cover just sits barely over our pages, and it doesn't look like we've made any mistakes where we've got pages hanging out or anything like that. So there you have it, your own little book. You can make it in less than 10 minutes and fill these up, and when you're ready to go, you don't have to go anywhere, just make you a new one. Ta-da! If you'd like to check out the travel journals that I have for sale, you can visit Facebook at Elise Ray Books and check out all of the journals that I make there. Give my page a like if you're interested in keeping up with any tutorials I do in the future and the journals that I make. Thanks.